Hey, Smarty Pants! Watch this video to learn 14 simple ways to use fewer resources so you can lower your carbon footprint and save money. According to the numbers I crunched, and there were a lot of numbers I didn't crunch, you could save over $1,600 in 1 year and be using fewer resources, which is better for the environment. You, like me, are probably deeply concerned about climate change and want to live your life in a way that reflects your values, but don't have a few 10 grand to spend on getting solar panels, buying a used electric car if you can find one, nor can we single-handedly stop coal power plants, plane travel, or cows burping, and all the other things that are real big contributors to climate change. So I've done some research on how we can both save money and live according to our environmentally conscious values. Of course, the best way to help with global climate change is through global action. So the best thing you can do is attend a climate change meeting once a month. Here are my 14 ways to use fewer resources. Number 1, and this one is huge. Stop throwing out food and wasting time wandering around the grocery store trying to figure out what to eat that night. Plan out your weekly meals. Write out what you're going to eat that week. Shop for only those items that you need. 1.5% of greenhouse emissions come from food waste due to consumers or losses in the product supply chain due to spoilage. So sitting down to plan my meals every week is not my most favorite thing to do, but I do it because it saves me so much time and effort and stress the rest of the week. I don't have to worry about what's for dinner. I always know what's for dinner. I just check what I've written down earlier. If you aren't meal planning, you're wasting at least $10 every single week on wasted food. That's $520 a year. So number 2, eat less meat, especially red meat. According to UC Davis, cattle are the #1 agricultural source of greenhouse gases worldwide. Each year, a single cow will burp about 220 pounds of methane. Methane from cattle is 28 times more potent in warming the atmosphere than carbon. Whew. No one is asking you to go vegan or vegetarian. We're just asking you to cut back a little bit. Think about it this way. Switching out chickens for cow meat will save you about $5 per pound. So changing 2 pounds every week means $10 a week savings. That is $520 by the end of the year. Number 3, use a lot less water by only running a full dishwasher or a full clothes washer. When you do wash your clothes, use the cold water setting and hang dry. The average energy cost per dryer load is about 50 cents. If you do 3 loads a week, that's $78 a year. Number 4, stop wasting energy reheating water. Insulate your hot water pipes, especially those going into and out of a hot water heater. It's super easy, it is super cheap, it takes 5 minutes to do, and it costs less than $5 for materials. My name is Kate Moody, here to help you outsmart your money. I am driven by the idea that good people can do great things once they get control of their money. If you're a good person who wants to make a positive impact on the world and stress less about cash, subscribe so that you get all my librarian-approved money know-how. Number 5, fix your leaky faucets. According to the US Geological Survey, 5 drips a minute equals 173 gallons every single year. You can also install a low-flow shower head, and if you're changing up older plumbing fixtures, always look for the WaterSense label ones. The EPA says that these fixtures are up to about 20% more water efficient. Number 6, when buying new, if you're able to afford it, buy higher quality items. Now, paying more doesn't necessarily mean it's a higher quality item. You kind of need to know what you're getting yourself into. This may cost you a bit more in the short term, but it saves so much money in the long run. Think about it like you're going out to buy a toaster oven, and you could buy a $75 toaster oven that'll last you 3 years, that's $25 a year, or you could buy yourself a $150 toaster oven that probably has a lot nicer features and will last you 15 years. So that one actually costs you $10 a year, less than half the cost of that $75 one. For clothing, buy items that you're going to plan on wearing for 10 to 15 years. Not only will you save money in the long term, but buying items that are timeless will up your style game. Anyone in their 30s has learned not to buy things that are really fashionable right now because you spend a lot of money on it and then 3 years down the line you realize you can't wear it anymore because it's out of style. You've learned, only buy timeless items. There are lots of videos on YouTube that will show you how to spot quality garments. Watch a few before heading out to the store. And look for items with lifetime warranties, like Eddie Bauer is well known for this. Jansport backpacks are well known for this. Yes, they are more expensive up front, but you get what you pay for because if you don't, they'll give you a new one. You'll have these items much longer than the cheap versions, so the cost per use, just like the toaster oven, is far lower. Number 7. Unplug devices when not in use or use a power strip. According to the National Resources Defense Council, our electronics, TV, video game consoles, cell phones account for about half of our average household energy use. They still draw electricity even when they're not in use. So having a TV plugged in all the time instead of only when you're using it actually wastes about $54 every single year in energy costs. If you have 2 TVs, that's $108 a year. And that's just your TV, not all the other stuff that you have plugged in. Look into smart power strips or just unplug when you're done. Number 8, change your definition of room temperature. Instead of keeping your house at 70 degrees all year round, in the winter time, if you live somewhere cold like where I do, then room temperature, we keep it at 68. Whereas in the summer, room temperature will bring it down with the AC to 73, rather than heating and cooling to 70 the entire year. If you can afford it, get a Wi-Fi enabled thermostat. So that way you can adjust it even when you're not home. And often they will learn your patterns and will save energy for you. Check your state, see if there's a rebate program. I believe there is a $50 rebate program in Wisconsin where I live. And the Wi-Fi thermostat company Nest estimates the average savings to be a minimum of $130 a year. So it is a good investment that will save you money in the long run. 10 is to look into discounts offered by your state on energy saving items. Low flow shower heads, smart power strips, like I mentioned, low energy light bulbs can all have big discounts by using the state supplements. 11, stop buying fresh herbs only when you need them in those little plastic packages. Think about all the energy it took to grow that herb, pick it, put it in the package, ship it to your grocery store, offload it onto the shelf for you. Instead, if you use a lot of fresh herbs, just grow them in your windowsill. Herbs like thyme, mint, and oregano are weeds. You cannot kill them. Unless you really try, you can't kill those guys. They don't need anything fancy. They're super easy to grow. If you buy 2 fresh herbs a week in those packages, that'd be like $6 every week or $312 a year. Or if you buy the plants once for $4 each, you can be done with it. Number 12 kind of hits me a little hard because I do have a little tiny bit of a lead foot. Drive the speed limit. Every 5-mile-an-hour increase over 50 is the equivalent to paying an extra 23 cents per gallon. So if you're doing 70, you're paying almost a full $1 more per gallon than you would be if you were doing 50. I've actually linked to an interactive calculator so that you can see how much your particular car wastes for every 5 miles an hour you go over 50. It is quite eye-opening. Number 13, for the menstruating women out there, reusable period cups. Way better for the environment and your wallet. A period cup costs about $30, depending on the brand. Let's say that otherwise you buy 1 box of tampons every month, that's $7. Well, in 5 months of using a cup instead, you've broken even, and now you have those last 7 months to save $7 every month, so that's a savings of $49 in just that first year. And lastly, if you drink a lot of soda, stop buying those 2-liter plastic bottles of soda or cans upon cans upon cans. Just go get yourself a SodaStream. You can find one on Facebook Marketplace for anywhere from like $20 to $40, depending on your luck. And then it'll cost you $15 to get a refill for the CO2 cartridge. But then you have unlimited soda without all the bottles and cans, which took a lot of energy to make, took a lot of energy to get to the store, and are never going to rot. We've had our SodaStream for well over 10 years, so it's paid for itself multiple times over. But really, the big benefit is that you never run out of soda. It's great. That one is only if you do drink a lot of seltzer or soda. Now, again, the best way to help with global warming is to collectively act on a global scale. So try to attend a climate change meeting just once a month. That's only 12 hours a year. You can totally do it. That's the biggest thing you can do to help with this problem. If you found this video useful, share it with your friends so that they can help reduce their impact on the environment too. Thanks for watching. Cheers.